Let's see what you got. Go ahead, again. There you go.
So how about this? What do we have here? Randy Orton giving Andy Orton? Nah, man, his name's Miles Borne, but that was a good one. As you see, social network erupting with, footage. People reacted to the footage of Miles Borne on NXT hitting some Randy Orton-esque moves, as well as people saying he's even moving like him and just kind of reminds them of Randy so much. And it's pretty interesting to see Randy engage in a storyline like this, and a lot of people are saying, where will this go? Will this lead anywhere? As in my opinion, tap in and let me know if you agree. WWE has dropped the ball a lot when it comes to taking talent that is NXT and is over, right? When they transition them into the main roster, Raw or SmackDown, I feel like their batting average is not the greatest. Don't get me wrong. There's been some people that they put into the main roster and it worked out well, but they just, I don't know, so often they do it all wrong. And I hate to see that, man, because NXT really was a dope brand. I'm not saying it's not now. I'm for sure happy they got away from that pastel, paint splatter, whatever the fuck you want to call it, era of NXT. I'm glad that didn't last. You know what I'm saying? Was that Vinnie Mac did that? And then when Triple H got back in power, he rebranded it back to the way it was, that pastel paint splatter version of the graphics. Like, that era was just buns. I thought I didn't like it at all. But 13, 14, 15 in that time frame, dare I even say 16, 17, NXT was the truth. They were killing it. It was a great show. A lot of people were saying that brand had all the best wrestling on it, as opposed to Raw and SmackDown. But nonetheless, it always is kind of looked at as a lower on the totem pole brand, or the farm system, the AA minor leagues get called up to the big leagues. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I know in the past couple of years there was talks about them trying to, push NXT as a third brand, that's not developmental, but it doesn't seem to be the case that's the way that it's worked out. Let me know what you think about that with NXT. If you think it should be an equal third brand, or kind of kept as the developmental. Nonetheless, whatever the plan is storyline wise, they just haven't done it justice, in my opinion. Like when they started switching stuff up, I was like, why? Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But back to what I was saying, over and over again, they just don't know how to move people up to the main roster. But in this situation, with Randy Orton being out with an injury, and people really seeming to love this Miles Borne dude, and he's even in this stable, the no quarter catch crew. I don't know if they would like move the whole stable up or just Borne or whatever, but everyone's like saying, man, this storyline kind of writes itself in a sense, with Orton giving him the blessing, saying, okay, you got the juice now, Borne. You know what I'm saying? Or Andy Orton. And if the timelines don't match up for Orton to come back and hit a big PLE, even though I still like to call them pay-per-views, and get his get back on Kevin Owens for putting him out of commission, they could easily work into a storyline, where Borne does Randy Orton's dirty work. Like, this thing could really have legs. Again, the people love this. Miles Borne, when Randy Orton came to NXT in St. Louis, he met Miles backstage and gave him his blessing to do his moves and taught him how to do his old pose and was just really cool to him in general. And none of it registered with Borne because he is deaf. Damn, that's kind of fucked up. People put a couple laughing emojis at that, you know what I mean? Trying to ish on the guy because he's deaf, which at first I was like, is that real? Is it kayfabe? I mean, someone might say, man, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would they kayfabe someone to be deaf? Although there has been times there was a kayfabe storyline that wrestlers had lost partial vision or all their vision, right? Didn't they do that with going all the way back to Junkyard Dog? And I feel like ECW did it too. Was it with Sandman? I don't know, but I guess looking back on it, it is a bit preposterous for me to wonder that. But no, he seems to really be deaf, and that's dope that he's able to, I don't want to say overcome that, because when you have a situation like that, that's just life, you know what I mean? But it can't be no easy task. There's so much in pro wrestling, the senses and everything having to do what you got to do to put on the best show and at the same time be safe and all that. It's a lot, man. And the fact that this guy, as you see him wrestling, very fluid, hitting the moves, righteous, like I'm rooting for this guy. He's on point, so good for him, you know what I mean? Just show, hey, someone can be deaf and bust into the pro wrestling business. What you think about it, Don't tell me I can't do it. Then someone here says, expected to see him hit the mat after that body slam. The whole Randy Orton stalking his prey when he's waiting for him to get up and hit that RKO as he's hitting his finisher. Someone comment what his finisher is called. Is it the something cutter? I don't know if I've seen any footage of him doing the whole stalking his prey bit like Randy did, or it seems like he's just more or less hitting it out of reversals. You guys remember way back DDP, man, when his big run, he was the first one when the NWO took over to really get one over on the NWO. I can't remember, was it the Macho Man that he came out and was dressed as one of the La Parca, one of the luchadors? It was La Parca, man. That was dope. Came out, hit him with the diamond cutter, unmasked. That was a big moment at that time, man. Even go back and watch all the documentaries. It's always highlighted, and even got voted in that year in like PWI or whatever it was as one of the great storylines or matches or whatever. It was lit, man. DDP would hit the diamond cutter though out of a million different reversals and just all kinds of stuff. And I like that that's kind of what they seem to be doing with Miles Borne from my point of view. Again though, I'm kind of a little out of the mix of what's going on in pro wrestling. Haven't been able to follow it as closely as I would like to as of late. Life's just been a bit crazy, and there's so much different pro wrestling to watch now, you know what I mean, with the different brands and AEW and ROH, which is part of AEW. I don't know. And again, who is the AEW son of Orton? Someone let me know. Someone says it's even starting to look like Randy is training him himself personally. He's definitely hearing voices. That got commented twice. Then what else do we got? So clean, legend killer energy activated, vintage Orton. It's so good to see Randy back. He's not back, right? Or is he back? Wonder when he will get his revenge on Kevin Owens. Or was this person like trolling and joking and saying, okay, he's here. Like, Randy's back in the form of Miles Borne. Remember Evan Bourne? I forget. Oh, Matt Sydal. Wasn't that his name before he came to WWE? And I forget he had a tag team that was called Airborne. Was it him and Kofi? I can't recall. I think they won tag team gold. Comment and let me know if you remember. And that's what Miles Borne seems to be doing in NXT, is with his stable mates competing in the tag team division. Someone says, fuck it, if we still don't get Randy Orton healed up by WrestleMania, have his son Miles Borne fight Owens fight. Yeah, that would be good. That's what I'm saying. That would be a lit storyline, and the fans are really taken to this. I'm sure WWE, has someone who analyzes all the social media interactions and replies and what's over with the fans. But you can't let the fans write the storyline still. But I don't know. I feel like this would be a cool one that they could go with. I'm rooting for something to happen. And again, it could be a real good way to transition dude to the main roster if he's ready, in their opinion. Let me know if you think he's ready, if you think it'll happen, and just your thoughts across the board about everything we're talking about over here. As always, it's all about hearing from the people. So make sure to subscribe too for future pro wrestling content. Bro, this tag team gives me vibes of if Kurt Angle and Randy Orton were a tag team. I love it. Someone else up on the whole tag team, and you heard not just Orton vibes, Kurt Angle vibes. The first time he did that slam in the match was much more fluid. He even stood up like Randy. He stumbled a bit on this one. So, hey, sounds like dude saying he's on point with it. Not saying this one's a botch, just not as clean, right? He can't come up with his own moves, gimmick, or attire. No originality. Come on, man. Lay off the guy a bit. That is the storyline or gimmick right now, that he's messing with Randy Orton. He's hearing them voices. He's ready to go knock down a couple legends, right? And comment to some other situations that had a similar storyline where someone wanted to be like someone in a sense, or whatever. I don't know why PD Pump in TNA or Impact or whatever. There's another pro wrestling that, you can watch, as I was naming. There's so much wrestling these days to tune into. But you guys remember when he was Lil PD Pump, Big Papa Pump was over there? I don't know. It was kind of comedy relief in a sense, like, I don't want to say Three Stooges, but it was definitely like he was a wannabe, and Big Papa Pump was treating him like, he was his crash out dummy. Like, he do whatever he tells him to do, like he's a goofy. In this situation with the interaction with Orton, I didn't see that. I seen kind of like Orton was like, wait a second, what were you doing? Okay, hey, let me show you how to do this, right? I'll show you how to do this, son. And then said, okay, you got it. You got the juice now. And right on his social media too, the first pic you see is him and Orton chilling with the caption, glad you're back doing your thing, bro. That was in November 2023. So Orton got hurt again since then. And something else too is dude has his own YouTube channel, which we've seen wrestlers have success on YouTube and social media and stuff like that before. You guys remember, was it Zack Ryder or Hawkins? It was Ryder, right? I forget which one. But they blew up on social media, and that ended up giving dude a little IC title run, if I recall correctly, in a big WrestleMania moment. But someone said, I was today years old when I realized, this is just in February, very recently, I was today years old when I realized that Miles Borne has a YouTube channel. And he's responding. So people are loving him on YouTube. People are feeling the whole Randy Orton thing. He's hitting the finisher out of nowhere, like I said, kind of in my eyes, in a more DDP, diamond cutter reversal like way, which is lit. But I don't know. I'm intrigued by this. What will happen? What will WWE do with it? Tap in. Let's talk about it below. And once again, thank you for tuning in. hit the buttons. It's free. It helps me out immensely. And the whole idea over here is just to create pro wrestling content, talking about current wrestling, old wrestling, everything in between. You know what I mean? And again, also, other times you remember storylines like this where there was someone, I don't know, like I was saying with P.D. Williams, Lil P.D. Pump, that was more like he was a wannabe. And Steiner was just, you know, I don't want to say using them, but having fun. He was kind of his goofy henchman or something like that, wannabe. That's not the vibes I caught here, you know. So this thing could be dope, man. They could really go somewhere with it. What will happen? Will it make its way to the main roster? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you tuning into, I was gonna say Coffee Wrestling Federation TV, as that was my original pro wrestling channel, man. We were like halfway to monetization. It was CWF. We had some videos do pretty well over there, and we were hitting all right algorithmically, but I've been locked out of that channel, and that sucks, but gotta build this one up. So hit all the buttons, subscribe, let's talk about it all, and I'm up out of here. Peace.